Hello everybody, my name is Renee and welcome to the Go Within channel, where I help people to go within themselves to find their own answers. I love this process. How do you deal with loneliness? Do you find that you feel lonely a lot of the time? That it's a kind of a feeling that permeates every day or most days. It's always there in the background. Or maybe even when you're with people, you still feel lonely. So let's get into this. We have a lot to talk about. What are some of the ways that we escape being lonely? Well, not hard to answer that. Well, we can just drown ourselves in alcohol, smoke something and get high. We can eat a ton of food. We can go shopping and get some retail therapy. We can fill up our schedules so full that our lives never have a chance to catch up with us. We can do anything and everything to avoid being with ourselves, do anything to run away from ourselves and to keep us from feeling, that terrible feeling of despair, of loneliness. But when we do all these things, whether it's the drinking or getting high or eating or keeping your schedule so busy, you're running from the problem. And you don't need me to tell you that. If you're running from the problem, you will always be on the hook. You will always have to control and manipulate the people and circumstances in your life so that you don't have to feel and confront this feeling of loneliness. So if you do that, you will never really ever be free. This loneliness is gonna keep following you around and saying, hey, deal with me. Hello, I'm over here. There's something here that you need to look at. But so many of us are so afraid to be with ourselves and to feel, to let ourselves feel. Let me give you an example. This happened to me recently. After going through a very difficult situation and a big adjustment in life. And I found myself one night just feeling really lonely. And I did not want to be with myself, anything but to just be alone with my freaking self. And I thought for a second, I'm like, who can I call? Who can I text? Do I have any errands to run? And I looked through my phone. I know I could run to the store and get something. I know I don't need it yet, but I will use it. Well, I saw my own game in the making and I'm like, okay, Renee, you can't do that. You know too much. You gotta face this. So I just sort of sat with myself and, I had the awareness that I know I can't run from this. I can't run from myself. You have to face it and feel it. So what I did is I decided to do a little bit of meditation. And my way of doing meditation is not some strict way or strict posture where I have to hold my hands in a certain way or whatever. I just allowed myself to be comfortable. I was sitting upright and my legs stretched out and just put my hands in my lap, closed my eyes and just focused on my breathing. Sometimes I'll do is I'll put one hand on my heart, one hand on my abdomen. And I just sat for a while and just focused on my breathing. And that anxiety that I was feeling of like, who can I call? What can I do? I gotta get out of the house and do something, run some errands, make myself busy. That feeling, that anxiety and that impetus to go do something, it went away. And I calmed down gradually, my breathing slowed down, and I started to feel okay. And after a little bit, I stopped the meditation and just finished the rest of the night, watched a little bit of TV, went to bed early, and I was fine. So I tell you this story because it illustrates, I think, very well what a lot of people feel sometimes. This panic, this anxiety, this, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Just get me out of myself. But therein lies your golden opportunity. I know, what it really means is it's your opportunity to face it. It's your opportunity to confront that feeling that you may not want to be looking at. But once you face it, you free yourself. And you may find that this monster that seems so scary isn't as scary. But I know sometimes loneliness can feel huge. It can feel like it just overcomes you. So what is at the root of loneliness? And what I have found is that what is at the heart of loneliness is a tremendous disconnection with our true self, or inner self, or our source. When you are so far away from that, and you are living in the past or the future, and you are anywhere but now, that can bring that feeling of loneliness. So in order to remedy that, we got to get back into our present moment. And I don't mean that you have to go to a mountaintop and sit there and sit like a monk and meditate. You can just sit in your own home, sit on your couch, lay down on your bed, sit in your desk chair, whatever's comfortable, and try to calm yourself down. Try to still that crazy wheel turning in your head, because I know it can get crazy. Mine does all the time. And reconnect with your body, with your physical feelings and sensations. Maybe find where in your body do you feel that sense of loneliness. Just focus on the only thing happening in that moment, your breathing. Maybe notice the temperature in the room, the way your clothes feel on your body. Notice all those thoughts, that going 100 miles an hour stream of thought. Just notice it. Yes, it's telling you, I'm freaking out, I can't handle this, I can't do this, just get me out of here. Okay. Watch that. It will change. Promise. It always does. So in order to get to the heart of loneliness, we got to connect back to our source, to our inner selves. And that's where we will find that peace and that contentment. Because I think you can look back in your life and say, oh yeah, I remember plenty of times where you were content just to be by yourself. You were happy and at peace, and you were fine. You've had that before. You can get back to that again. So it's not out of reach. It's just something you gotta practice. Something you have to just work it like you'd work out at the gym. You gotta strengthen that muscle. Because if you can be with yourself and be content and happy in your own company, the loneliness game is over. You won. And it's something you can strengthen and cultivate in yourself. Now, this doesn't mean that, I don't need people at all. I don't need anyone. I'm an island. I'm not saying that. Although you may be someone who needs a lot of time by yourself. You may be someone who doesn't need that much time by yourself. We're all different. And at the same time, I'm saying to be content being alone and being with yourself. I also want to say it is okay to seek out the company of others, to be with others. That is as much or is as valid a need as needing food and water and exercise and mental stimulation. We need people. But when it comes to that you use that so that you don't have to deal with being alone, then that's another issue. That tells you that you need to focus on what demon is popping up when you're faced with being alone or feeling lonely. So those are two separate things. So allow yourself to act on that desire to have community, to have friends. That's very important, and that is a very valid and worthwhile need. Let yourself meet that need. But remember, and this is kind of the sobering and kind of not so nice part, but we come into this world alone. we leave alone. And you've probably heard that. And anytime I hear that, I always think, okay, it just doesn't sound very nice. But anyway, we face our demons when we're alone. When we have that dark night of the soul, we're usually alone. And it's in those golden moments that our character is developed, that our growth shoots upward, and that we conquer something powerful, and we emerge a new person and a stronger person, and with more confidence. To do this work of dealing with loneliness means we got to get serious about going within. We got to get serious about doing our work. And we all got work. We all have our inner stuff, our issues. So if you're ready to face that, realize it may not be as hard as you think. You can also remember you are never truly alone. You are always connected. We just think that we're alone all the time, and we have this illusion of separateness and separation from everyone, and it's just me and my little world and my little house. No, we are far more connected than we let ourselves realize. So, that was a big topic. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that has helped. And if you would like to share something on this topic, I hope you will. Leave me a comment below. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. And I hope you will like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time.